Another elephant in the room as restaurants continue to evaporate. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Buckle up, strap in, hold on to your hats and your glasses as I blow the lid off the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. Why ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you they're tied together. If we lose one, we lose them both, and they're both under attack as we speak if you're new. Please subscribe right away. Never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We got to sharpen a little iron today, my friends. I always open the show with, if we lose the economy, it's going to take the housing market along for the ride. It's natural. If we lose the housing market, it takes the economy along for the ride. In the 2008 financial crisis, the Great Recession, the U.S. housing market collapsed the economy. We just put the U.S. housing market in another big stress test. We are dealing with a lot right now. Take your pick. Throw a dart at an economic challenge map, if we could get one. You're hitting something. My gosh, the stuff that we're uncovering now is much more serious than the 2008 financial crisis of subprime mortgages. I believe, personally, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think it would be a day at the beach if we could get out of this with a subprime mortgage crisis. We've got so much. We doubled the amount of money in circulation overnight and created the two-headed monster, runaway inflation, and now we're living in a risen interest rate environment. That's a two-headed monster, my friends. That's a locomotive that's left the station and is not coming back. We got to try to cool these markets without crashing them. That's a hat trick that has never been performed successfully in history, ever. And we've always had booms and busts in the financial markets. And every time the markets have exhibited bubble behavior, we've lost them. So this one was very serious for me. But I continue to see cheerleaders. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in America, helping many of you, doing my thing out there, helping customers. Do it for free. Love what I do. But to wrap my head around this sometimes can be quite challenging indeed, because I'm living through the biggest bubble in history along with all of you. I just happen to be in the trenches of this thing, making sense of it. Now, I'm halfway enjoying it. Why? Because I'm awake. I understand the severity. I've admitted there's a problem. I've acknowledged the elephant in the room, and I know many of you have as well. So one of the things we're having right now is, like we talk about, if we lose the U.S. economy, it will take the housing market along for the ride, because if we lose the economy, we lose jobs, and people can't make their house payments and eventually go back to the banks. The banks are already going through the biggest stress test of their lives. We're teetering on the razor's edge. So one of the new fractures that we're getting reports in, and this is scary to me, when you see places like Burger King and Taco Bell, these McDonald's, Starbucks, these big corporate entities, now closures, store closures. And this isn't like your Walmart because a loss prevention can't keep up with losses. This is people not spending anymore. And this, with Taco Bell and McDonald's, these places used to be the affordable option. That's why we ate this junk food, because it was cheaper. It was cheaper. Now they're as expensive as most other just standard greasy spoon restaurants. People are choosing to be healthy right now. They're eating at home much more. But now what we're seeing, because the cost to operate these stores because of inflation, and they're passing it on to their consumers so they protect their investors and shareholders, can't have them take a hit. People aren't going anymore. And guess what's happening? Reports now. These are big stores closing one after another. And here's the challenging part. For this guy, maybe you as well. We're just getting started. We're at the front end of a recession. It hasn't even been officially announced that we're in one. Yet we're all here seeing it in black and white. Yet leadership continues, for whatever reason, sugarcoat it. You know, back in the 2008, great, I always talk about 2008 because I lived through it and suffered a little blowback. I don't regret going through it now because of what I've learned, but I certainly don't want to go repeat the same thing, doing the same thing over, expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. So when this thing played out as I Real estate bubble, gosh darn it, I'm working in a real estate bubble and I'm benefiting from this craziness. I've got to ring the bell, sound the alarm, raise awareness, let people know the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history with zero organic growth will 100% have blowback. It now becomes at what degree? So this is the degree you get now, my friends. In the last bubble, the biggest bubble on record, the biggest housing crash on record, the '08 era, we didn't have Burger King, Starbucks, Subway, all your favorite food places that thrive when things get tough for people because you could save money there. When you see them evaporating, we didn't have that in 2008. So anybody telling me, oh, yeah, Scott, no, this time is different than 2008. Supply and demand. I say, no. This time is different. It's worse. When you see the dominoes fall from massive corporate entities now closing location, Starbucks. I've reported on this about a year ago. Amazon in the holidays always hires temporary seasonal help. What did they do in the last holiday? Can you imagine this Christmas what's going to be happening? I don't think the news gets any better. And it pains me to say that because I'm not really cheering for a crash. Why, you ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you because I've never lived through a depression era myself. And we're in the depression cycle throughout history. They've cycled approximately every 100 years. We're in the 100-year cycle. 1929, the great stock market crash was the Great Depression. That tells me about 2029 knocking on the door. Doesn't mean it'll happen right on day one of 2029. It could happen before, it could happen after, it could happen on. But it's clearly knocking on the door when you see restaurants now closing locations. So what do we do? Well, what do we do? Well, the first step in getting past the problem is admit there's a problem. The second step is acceptance. The third is get to work. Insulate yourself. Get out of debt. Make sure you're not carrying credit card debt. If you got a big old car payment, dump the car. Get lean and get mean. Because I continue to show you things that are threatening the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. The warning signs continue to ring very loud and very clear. And I know as a real estate agent, it's very unorthodox to hear somebody actually giving these warnings. But I'm willing to earn your business later. You don't want a real estate agent in worse shape than their clients. And we're seeing them drop out right now. And they can't even get a job now at Starbucks because it's going away. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created bubble ever produced in world history is having its blowback. Kool-Aid drinking ran through the fabric of this economy, through and through, from the housing market to the economy itself. We're seeing these companies now be evaporated. I'm going to be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to love the next video on your screen, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.